I want to ask you something that might completely change how you see everything. Not just your life, everything. What if reality isn't something that's happening to you? What if reality is something that's happening from you? Not as a spiritual concept to feel good about, as a fact of how existence actually works. That's what the author is saying in Chapter 2 of The Power of Awareness. And if you were with me last week for Chapter 1, you already felt the ground shift a little. You touched the I am. You felt the edges dissolve, and you had a moment of something larger than the story you've been living. This week, we go deeper. Because Chapter 1 told you what the I am is. Chapter 2 tells you what it does, what it creates, what is already have been creating your entire life, whether you know it or not. And when that lands, not as a concept but in your body, you will never be able to unsee it. I'm Anca. Welcome to Lumina Liber, Season 1, The Power of Awareness, Chapter 2, Consciousness. Let's go. And before we go any further, if you haven't watched episode 1 yet, go back and watch it first. Because the episodes build on each other. What we touch today lives on the foundation we laid last week. Link is in the description. And if you're just finding this channel, welcome. Hit subscribe so you don't miss a single transmission. This series goes somewhere most YouTube channels never go. Before we open the book, I want to acknowledge something. If you're back for episode 2, something happened last week. Something shifted, even slightly. Maybe you can't fully name it. Maybe you just know you needed to come back. That's the transmission working. That's not a coincidence. And if this is your first time here, you are making a choice in this moment. Something in you said yes to this before your mind had a chance to talk you out of it. I want you to know that impulse is intelligence. Because the people who find Lumina Liber are not looking for more information. You already have information. What you're looking for is access. Access to the level of yourself that the information keeps pointing at, but never quite reaches. That's what we're building here, week by week, chapter by chapter. And Chapter 2 of The Power of Awareness is one of the most important pieces of this puzzle. Because Chapter 1 said, you are awareness. The I am is the only reality. Chapter 2 says, the awareness, the I am you touched last week, is not just what you are. It's what everything is. Let that sit for just a moment before we go into the teaching. Open your copy to Chapter 2 if you have it. Consciousness. Here is what most people miss when they read this chapter. They read the word consciousness and they think it means awareness, like being conscious as opposed to being asleep or unconscious, a state you're sometimes in and sometimes not. This is not what it means. It means something so much more that when it fully lands, it changes the question from how do I change my life to what am I actually doing right now that's creating it. Because consciousness is not a state you have. Consciousness is not a tool you use. Consciousness is not even a quality of being alive. Consciousness is the substance of reality itself, the thing that everything is made of, the ground from which every experience, every relationship, every physical form in your life is projected outward. Like light through a lens, like a dream from a dreamer. And here is the part that should make the back of your neck prickle. You are that consciousness, not a consciousness, not a piece of it, not a fragment of something larger. The same consciousness that creates reality is what you are. Which means, and follow this carefully, you are not in your life the way a character is in a story. You are the author of your life, the way a dreamer is in a dream. The dreamer doesn't realize they're dreaming. They experience the dream as real, as fixed, as happening to them. They react to the characters. They are afraid of the obstacles. They celebrate the victories. All of it feels completely solid and external and beyond their control. And then they wake up and they realize, I created all that. Every face, every fear, every landscape. It all came from me. You can wake up now, here, in this body, in this life, while the dream is still happening. And the moment you do, the moment consciousness recognizes itself as the dreamer rather than the character, the dream becomes responsive. This is where it gets practical, because this is not philosophy for the sake of philosophy. This is the operating system for everything. If consciousness is the substance of reality, if you are consciousness, then what you hold in consciousness consistently with feeling, that is what your reality is made of. Not what you think sometimes, not what you wish for occasionally. What you are at the level of consciousness right now, the dominant state, the felt assumption, the thing your awareness rests in so naturally, you've stopped noticing it. I am someone who struggles with money. That's not a description, that's consciousness, and it's creating. I am someone things never quite work out for. That's not an observation, that's a consciousness, and it's creating. I'm whole. I am the kind of person whose desires manifest naturally. I am living from abundance. That's also a consciousness. And it also creates. What consciousness are you? Not what you do want to be, not what you're trying to become. What are you right now, at the level of assumption, at the level of felt reality, at the level of what your nervous system actually believes to be true? What consciousness are you? Because exactly that is what's showing up in your life. Now, here is what I want to add, my layer to this. Because this is where years of working with the body and the subconscious showed me something that the author doesn't fully say. Most people try to change their consciousness with their mind. They try to think their way into a different state. Affirmations, visualizations, positive thinking, and it works partially for a while until the body votes against it. Because the body carries a different consciousness than the mind is performing. The mind says, I'm abundant. The body says, I'm terrified. And the body almost always wins. Not because the body is more powerful, but because the body is more honest. The body is where the actual dominant consciousness lives. This is why somatic work isn't optional on this path. This is why the transmission is not a nice add-on at the end of the teaching. The transmission is the work. Because you cannot think your way into a different consciousness. You have to live it, feel it, embody it. Let the nervous system update its fundamental assumption of what's true. And this is what we're doing today. I want to pause here and ask you something. What is the consciousness you've been living from? Not what you want it to be. What does it actually feel like in your body on a Tuesday morning when nothing special is happening? Stay with that. We're going to work with it in this transmission. And if something just surfaced, something you recognize about the consciousness you've been running, drop it in the comments. I would appreciate to see it, and most importantly, do it for the person watching this few months from now or tomorrow who needs to know they're not alone in it. Your comment might be the thing that keeps someone in the work. I want to tell you about a period in my life when I understood everything and lived none of it. I had read the books, I knew the principle, I could explain the law of assumption beautifully. And underneath all of that understanding, underneath the words I could speak about consciousness and reality creation, was a body that was running a completely different program. A consciousness that said, things don't fully work out for me. I get close, but not there. I understand the path, but I'm somehow always preparing for it rather than on it. And the most humbling thing I discovered through years of working with my own subconscious and body was that I couldn't think my way out of that consciousness. Every time I tried to affirm my way into a different state, my body would quietly and persistently bring me back. Not because I wasn't trying hard enough, because I was trying at the wrong level. And the shift happened not when I found better affirmations. It happened when I found the consciousness in my body, the actual felt assumption, and worked with it directly. Let it speak. Let it move. Let the nervous system update what it believed was real. That is somatic work. That's what hypnotic transmission actually does when it's done at depth. And this is not a mental technique. It is a shift in what you are at the level of consciousness. I tell you this because I know some of you are very good at understanding this material and still waiting for your life to reflect it. This episode is for you. Okay, we've been in the teaching and I know something has started to move, even below the level of words. Now, I want to take you somewhere. I will be pointing at something you can be in right now, not after years of practice, not when you finally got it all figured out. Right now. What I'm going to guide you through is a transmission into the actual state. Consciousness recognizing itself. The dreamer waking up inside the dream. You don't need to do anything. The only thing I ask is that you arrive here a little more fully. So go ahead. Let your body settle into whatever is holding it. And when you're ready, let the eyes close. And just arrive. Not somewhere new, right here, more fully than you were a moment ago. Feel the weight of your body, the actual physical heaviness of it pressing down into whatever is beneath you. And let that weight drop. Just slightly more than it already has. Let your breath come and go without you managing it. Just watch it happen, the way you'd watch a tide coming in, going out, without needing to control the ocean. And now, very gently, I want you to notice something. There is something here that is watching the breath, something that is aware of the music, aware of the body, aware of this moment unfolding. The I am, the awareness of being. And today we are going one layer deeper. Let yourself go deeper now. Because here is what I want you to consider, not with your thinking mind, but with whatever is beneath it. Every experience you ever had, every phase, every room, every sensation, every fear and every joy, every single moment of your entire life. Where did it happen? In consciousness, didn't it? Every experience without exception arose within awareness, was known by consciousness, existed as an experience only because something was there to be aware of it. Which means consciousness was not in your experience. Your experiences were in consciousness. Feel that. Feel it. Every room you've ever stood in, every conversation you've ever had, every loss that broke you open, every moment of joy that made you forget yourself, all of it arose within this, within the awareness you are right now. And something begins to happen when that becomes real. The sense of being a small, contained person, a self with edges, a self that things happen to, begins to soften. Soften like ice, beginning to remember it was always water. The you that has been carrying the weight of everything that hasn't worked yet. The you that have been trying so hard to figure out how to get from here to there. The you that sometimes wonders if it will ever actually change. From here, from this awareness that contains it all, that self looks very small, like a character in a dream that has forgotten it is also the dreamer. Let it soften. Let it dissolve. Just for now, just for a few minutes. You don't have to maintain it. You don't have to hold it together. You don't have to be anyone right now. Just this, just awareness, being aware of itself. And from this dissolved, open, spacious place, I want to offer you something, and I want you to allow yourself to feel that you are not in your life the way a character is in a story. You are the dreamer, and the life you've been living is the dream you've been having. Now, here is what that actually means in your body. Think of something in your life right now, something that feels fixed, solid, unchangeable. A situation or a pattern or a wall you keep running into. Let it come to mind. And now feel this, that situation, that pattern, that wall arose in consciousness, your consciousness, not as a punishment, but as a dream, dreamed by a dreamer who didn't yet know they were dreaming. A dreamer who was running a consciousness, a felt assumption about reality so consistently, so automatically, so below the level of thought that it became the landscape of the dream. And here is what changes when the dreamer wakes up. The dream becomes responsive, not immediately, not without the work of actually shifting the consciousness, but responsive. The way a dream shifts when the dreamer realizes they're dreaming and chooses consciously what to dream next. Feel what that opens in your chest. Some part of you knows this is true, has always known this. The feeling of, wait, I'm not trapped, I'm dreaming. And I can dream differently. Let that feeling grow. A certainty, the quiet, deep, unshakable kind that lives below emotion, below thought, in the body itself. And now, the last place we are going from this dissolved place, from this discovery that you are the dreamer, I want you to feel what it means to be awake inside the dream, not escaping your life, living it differently, as the consciousness that creates rather than the character that reacts. Feel something shift in the body, a presence, the felt sense of someone who knows they are not victims, but the consciousness from which situations arise. And from this place, this awake, present, conscious place, I want you to feel into, not think into, feel into. What is the consciousness you choose? Not the one you've been running so far, the one you choose from here, from this awareness that knows that it is. What does it feel like in the body to be the version of you whose consciousness is already what you want your life to reflect? Don't visualize it, be it. Just for these few seconds, let your nervous system be it. What it feels like to already be there. Notice what happens in the body when you stop wanting that state and you start being it. Something relaxes. Something that was reaching stops reaching and simply arrives. This is consciousness, not a concept, not a belief, a state of being. So completely that reality has no choice but to rearrange itself to match it. Rest here, in the consciousness you are, in the dreamer who just remembered they were never trapped, only dreaming. In the awareness that is right now choosing what to dream next. And now I invite you to begin to feel the room around you. The sounds, the temperature, the breath. And go ahead and take a breath that belongs to this room, this body, this life you are now dreaming consciously. And when you're ready, let your eyes open slowly. Welcome back, or welcome awake. I want to give you 2 things to carry into your week. The first, this week when you notice a situation in your life that frustrates you, perhaps a pattern or something that feels stuck, instead of asking, how do I change this? Ask, what consciousness created this? As a dreamer getting curious about their own dream. And the second, once a day, just once, for only 60 seconds, experience being the consciousness of the person you are becoming. Just feel it in your body and get accustomed to it. Now, I want to hear from you. What came up during this transmission? What did you feel when you touched the idea that you are the dreamer, not the character? What consciousness did you notice you've been running? Leave it in the comments, because this is your space. This is a community of people doing real work on themselves. Your words create the container for everyone else. And if this episode moved something in you, share it. Send it to one person whose life might shift because of it. That's how this work spreads, not through algorithms, through people who care about other people. And before you go, I want to tell you 2 things. One, if you haven't already, there is a free somatic transmission audio waiting for you. It's called the Lumina Awakening, and it takes you into expanded free awareness in a format that you can return to again and again. It's on my website, ancauni.com, and it's free, and the link is in the description. Go get it. And 2, if something in those 2 episodes has shown you that you're ready to stop studying this and start living it, that's what I do. Private session, retreats, deep immersion work for people who are done waiting. Go on my website, ancauni.com, and press the button Apply to Work Together. And next week, Chapter 3, The Power of Assumption. And it is where everything we build in these first 2 chapters becomes a practice. A practice you can use from the moment you wake up tomorrow. Read it before you come back and come with your questions. Come ready to go somewhere. I'll see you there.